Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another round day episode thing. Game News Roundup, where we go over the latest VGChartz estimates, any other sales figures, official, our own estimates, any gaming news over the last 5 or 6 days. So we'll start, as always, with the VGChartz estimates for the week ending August 13th, 2022. So looking down, we can just go to the left-hand side here, then we'll go into the article itself. We've got Switch number 1, PS5 second, Series X and S and third, and the PS4 and Xbox One. Their sales are dwindling and quite fast. Well, definitely, most likely, unless somehow Sony actually updates their figures for the PS4, it sounds like they've discontinued it potentially. We'll stop tracking the two at the end of the year. And then just have the main three after that. But Switch, number 1 in the world with an estimated 282,000 units sold worldwide. Best sales in North America, about 88,000 units sold, 74,000 across Europe. And just a hair behind Europe, in Japan, with nearly 74,000 units sold in Japan. PS5 in second place with about 81,000 in the US and Canada, North America. 73,000 in Europe, and about just a hair under 21,000 in Japan. Total to just about almost 214,000. Time to remove them. Yeah, PS4 and Xbox One. Yeah, Xbox One 100% definite. End of the year, we'll stop tracking it, and then PS4 depends on. Well, if Sony says we're actually still producing it, then sure, we'll keep on tracking it. But for now, it's looking like that might be it at the end of the year. But yeah, PS5 second again. Series X and S in third. Again, it's good sales, I'd say, across the board. Considering stock has been improving for the PS5 and the Series X. PS5 definitely improving a lot more than the Series X stock-wise. And yeah, PS5 is starting to pull a bit further ahead of the Series X and S, where sales were fairly close for the first 6-ish months of the year between the two. But yeah, and you look at North America, sales are pretty tight, like almost, I wouldn't quite say tight, but pretty damn close, 88,000 versus 78,000. North America, this being US and Canada. And then almost 50,000 sold in Europe, 4,300 in Japan, about 161,000 sold worldwide, estimated. And then you see PS4, 4,600, and just under 371 estimated for the Xbox One. Again, always estimated. As more data becomes available, adjustments do occur with our estimates. And then lifetime sales, we got 111.52 million estimated sales for the Switch sold through. 22.27 million for the PS5 and 16.4 million for the Series X and S. Again, these are based on sell-through figures, not shipment figures, which when Sony and Nintendo reports their quarterly figures, it is based on shipped, not sold. And there's always a bit of a lag between the time it takes to ship consoles or when they finally, hit the store shelves and how long it takes for them to sell on the store shelves, which obviously the gap between ship versus sold for the PS5 is definitely a lot smaller than the other two, with it pretty much selling out pretty quickly when units do become available at retail or online. So looking at the article itself, so comparing this generation to last generation, so PS5 sales compared to the same week for the PS4 in 2015, PS5, after having continually tracked behind the PS4 for a while, is actually, for another week, so outsold the PS4 for the same week in 2015 by about 33,000 units, and the Series X and S continues to outperform the Xbox One, with sales up by nearly 82,000 units. The PS4 had sold 180,000 units for the week ending August 15th, 2015, compared to 213,000 for the PS5, about 80,000 for the Xbox One, compared to pretty much double that for the Series X and S, 16.4 million units. So yeah, for third place, I mean, the thing is, even at this point, looking at the sales, yeah, even if one finishes in third, the sales are still going to be great. I mean, looking at this, how the sales are between the Switch, PS5, and Series X and S, you're going to have great sales. It's not like you're going to see, like, the PS2 versus the GameCube or the Xbox, where it's, almost 160 million versus a little over 20 million for the GameCube and original Xbox. Year-over-year sales, we have the Switch down by about 8.8%, 27,000 units, which is to be expected to be down something around there with how old it is. Sales are going to be down year over year. I mean, you might get an occasion week where it's up, or some weeks where it's down a bit more, but we're going to be seeing it down year over year, unless maybe Nintendo will drop the price. There'll be some big bundles for the holidays, and it might, be flat or up in the holidays, but I'd say probably will be down 10 to 20% sales-wise for the rest of the year. Just I say my prediction. Could be wrong. I don't know. PS5 sales are pretty much flat year over year, just down a hair. 2.2% in Series X and S is up about 38,000 units, 30% year over year. PS4 is unsurprisingly down 82%. Series Xbox One is down by, almost 100%, 96.6%. Its sales are going down quick with a little bit that's left. And week on week, Switch sales are down by nearly 9,000 units. PS5 sales are down by a little over 16,000 units, and Xbox Series X and S are pretty much flat, just down a little over 2,000 units. And 2022 sales year to date through August 13th. Switch, unsurprisingly, number one, 9.64 million estimated sales so far. PS5 with 5.3 million units, and the Series X and S 4.75 million units. Overall, it's good sales, I'd say, across the board. Switch, despite how old it is, still holding fairly strong. PS5, when stock is available, sales, it is selling, and stock has been improving over recent weeks in a lot of the world. Not quite everywhere, but overall, you're seeing more and more stock available over the last, 3 or 4 weeks at this point. So yeah, I think we've gone through all of this stuff for the latest VGChartz estimates. So we can take a quick look here at a monthly sales comparison between the PlayStation 5 and PS4 launched aligned. This would be through July, after 21 months, which is July 2022 for the PS5 and July 2015 for the PS4. The PS5 was ahead, pretty much flat, took a lead again, and then you can see it's fallen behind. But in July, not only did it sell as much, it actually sold more than the PS4 in the equivalent month. Obviously, it's got a ways to go to catch up to the PS4, and even Sony said, it'll take some time for the PS5 to eventually catch up to the PS4, but they do expect it to eventually surpass the PS4. PS5 to surpass the PS4. But right now, the PS4 currently, our estimates have it about 2.7 million ahead of the PS5. 24.5 million sales for the PS4 at the end of its 21st month, and 21.8 million estimated sales for the PS5 after its first 21 months on the market. So this is through July, so a couple weeks before the VGChartz estimates that I just went over. Let's see, we go over NPD figures for July. From their report, Switch still remains the number one selling console. PS5 was number 2 in terms of units sold. The Series X and S came in 3rd place. Looking at everything, we had our once I adjusted our estimates here at VGChartz, the PS5 was just a little bit ahead of the Series X and S. Now, if more data comes available or a leak comes out again, adjustments always do happen as we get more figures. But yeah. Just I do the best I can with the data that I'm able to gather. But yeah, year to date, the Switch has sold the most units, while the PS5 is number 1 in terms of revenue. And NPD did mention the stock for the PS5 has improved in recent weeks. The PS5 and Series X and S did see a revenue increase year over year by double-digit percentage compared to July 2021. Overall spending on video games in July, again, this is U.S. figures, decreased 9% year over year to $4.18 billion, while spending on video game content also dropped 10% to $3.67 million, while video game hardware sales increased 12% to $362 million. So while software sales, DLC, microtransactions, whatever, those sales are down, hardware sales, at least revenue-wise, are up year over year. Year-to-date sales are so far down 10%. year over year. Video game content is down 10%, and video game hardware is down 7%, but it is a smaller drop than we did see the previous month year to date. Multiverses was the best-selling game in July. Now, if you're wondering, like, wait a minute, how is it the best-selling game? It's free to play. You're correct on that. But this includes sales of the Founders Pack, which is not free. So this includes whatever people spent for the Founders Pack. And Warner Brothers, who published Multiverses, also published the third best-selling game of the month, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. And then the big Switch new release, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing anything, I do apologize. Debuted in 4th place. And this is despite digital sales not being included. So yeah, any first-party game or any game published by Nintendo, digital sales are not included on these charts. Or pretty much any charts. I don't think they release it. But it was also the best-selling game on the Switch for the month. I mean, it's a good sign for the game that it's performing quite well for the series. And Digimon Survive debuted in 8th place and is, well, just the one of 3 new titles in the top 20. And it was also only available for 2 days. So in 2 days, it was able to make the 8th best-selling game in July. So here we have overall sales. Again, this is by revenue. Multiverses debuted in 1st. Again, Elden Ring, 2nd. Lego Star Wars in 3rd. Xenoblade in 4th. Call of Duty Vanguard. Of course, you know, Call of Duty is always going to be there. I mean, maybe eventually it won't be. Is in 5th. MLB The Show was in 6th. Mario Kart 8 in 7th. Digimon Survive in 8th. Minecraft in 9th. And F1 22 in 10th. But you can then see after the top 10, you see a lot of Nintendo games. With the asterisk of, these don't include digital sales. So if digital sales for Nintendo games were included, they probably, most likely, would be higher up on these charts. So we take a look. Again, Xenoblade, best-selling game on the Switch. Mario Kart, Kirby, Smash Brothers, Animal Crossing for the top 5. And basically, 9 of the top 10 best-selling games on the Switch, revenue-wise. Oh, you can see the publisher, Nintendo. All but Digimon Survive, which is Bandai Namco. And then if you go top 10 best-selling games on PlayStation, you got Elden Ring in 1st, MLB The Show in 2nd. Multiverses debuted in 3rd. Call of Duty Vanguard in 4th. Minecraft in 5th. Horizon Forbidden West in 6th. Which is, you know, it's a mix of first and third-party games on PlayStation charts. And then Xbox, we've got Multiverses in 1st, Elden Ring in 2nd, Call of Duty in 3rd, 4th, 7th, and 8th. Yep. And once I guess technically these are all, other than Forza Horizon 5, these are technically at the moment all third-party games. Now once Activision Blizzard acquisition is closed, all those will be first-party games to Xbox. Where is GTA? You know, that's actually a good point. Where the hell is GTA? What? Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's weird not seeing Grand Theft Auto 5 in the top, even 20. Or any of the... That is bizarre. That is crazy. I'm okay with this, because, yeah, GTA... Maybe that's why Rockstar's really focusing on GTA 6 at the moment. Trying to get it done now that GTA 5 sales are on the decline. And year-to-date, Elden Ring, the best-selling game of 2022, followed by Lego Star Wars, Pokemon Legends, Arceus in 3rd, Horizon, Forbidden West in 4th, MLB The Show in 5th. Actually, I'm realizing the top 10 are the same as they were the previous month. Minecraft, Switch Sports. See some minor differences, but it's almost the same. But again, it is year-to-date, so that's not the biggest surprise. Moving on. Announced today from data from GSD, Spiderman Remastered has set a new record for the biggest PC launch for a PlayStation game, specifically in the United Kingdom. Opening week sales for Spider-Man Remastered are 26% higher than the previous PlayStation PC record, which was set by God of War in January. It was also the 4th biggest PC launch of 2022 in the UK, behind Elden Ring, Total War, Warhammer 3, and Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. So it's a pretty good PC launch, considering it's the game is several years old at this point. And other PlayStation games that have also already been released on the PC: Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn, Helldivers, and Predator Hunting Grounds. And also planned to come to PC, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. Should be coming out at some point later this year, I believe. Both of them? Could be mistaken. Let's see what else we got. Elden Ring, still selling like crazy. It has now shipped 16.6 million units worldwide as of June 30th, 2022. According to data from Bandai Namco, which is up from 13.4 million units shipped as of March 31st. And 12 million units on March 15th. And the game is available on pretty much every major platform minus the Switch. PS5, Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And it came out on February 25th. Let's see. And moving on. The very first place... with Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard at Saudi Arabia. First place to approve it. That's one. I mean, the biggest ones will probably be the FTC for the U.S. And the European Union. Big ones to be waiting on for their approval. But this is first place to approve it. And it's like 16 or 17 countries or places really they're waiting on approval for. So, we'll see. But yeah, Microsoft in January of this year announced its plans to acquire Activision Blizzard in a deal worth $68.7 billion, which is, off the top of my head, I believe, is not only the biggest game acquisition in history, but it's actually Microsoft's biggest acquisition ever. In May of this year, Microsoft President and Vice Chair Brad Smith did say the acquisition is moving fast for how big the deal is. So yeah, Saudi Arabia is the first place to approve it. We got a lot. I mean, we got some. FTC might approve it by the end of the month, but we don't know for sure. That's what reports have said. Let's see. And just announced, actually, right before I started the stream, Sony has announced PlayStation VR2 is going to launch in early 2023. Which I think is good. Good timing. I think it's a good time. Obviously, now, how much? That is the question. How much is it going to cost? $300? $400? $500? I don't know, $200? It depends. I mean, specs-wise, it's far better than the original PlayStation VR, so I'd assume it'd be more expensive than that. And I'm assuming it's going to require PlayStation 5. There's been no word of Sony saying, yes, it'll also work on PC or PS4. But yeah, early 2023, which is good timing, especially once the Meta Quest 2. I mean, I realize I guess I just tell you, I think a standalone VR headset. Mind you, I'm not all that well versed in virtual reality. I have played in the HTC Vive, and yeah, it's cool, it's fun. It's just so damn expensive, and there's not a ton of games for it to make it worth the investment of what a VR headset costs, at least right now. Maybe in a few years, prices will come down. There'll be more big AAA releases. But yeah, early 2023 for anyone who's excited for PlayStation VR 2. Moving into the Embracer news that came out last week. We got a couple of articles, but Embracer has acquired the IP rights to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. That would be the Third Age? So it's specifically The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So not the First Age or Second Age or something. The way the rights are with Lord of the Rings, it's weird. Like, Amazon with their TV show only got specific rights to just the Second Age and only specific things. And it's just like, sure? But yeah, Embracer Group announced it has entered an agreement through its subsidiary, Freemo, to acquire Middle-earth Enterprises and the IP rights to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien in regards to motion pictures, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, and stage productions, but it specifically said. Embracer says the deal will give them a significant growth opportunities within PC, consoles, mobile, and tabletop games. So, I mean, yeah, Embracer, they've been growing leaps and bounds, acquiring this and that, these companies, those companies. God, they might own more studios than any other company out there at this point. I really wouldn't be surprised. I don't know who could even be more at this point. And they also acquired Limited Run Games, Tripwire Interactive, Sing Tricks, Tuxedo Labs, Tatsujin, I'm sure I mispronounced that, and Bitwave Games. Along with the acquisitions, Embracer Group's announced its formation of its 11th operating group called Embracer Free Mode, which will focus on retro, classic, and heritage gaming category. It'll also invest in iconic gaming and entertainment properties. Free Mode is led by CEO Lee. And that's his last name right there. With our announcement of Free Mode, we demonstrate our continued commitment to diversified growth into new areas, ultimately preserving yesterday's classics in addition to expanding further tomorrow's gaming and entertainment experiences, said Embracer AB Group CEO Lars Wingefurs. Again, I'm not great at pronouncing things. But details on the acquisitions: Limited Run Games, which is generally known for releasing, limited run physical copies of digital-only games, is generally what they're best known for. Embracer Group, through its wholly owned subsidiary Free Mode, has entered into an agreement to acquire Limited Run Games from its founders. It is a global leading collector-focused publisher of physical video games with a strong brand, established direct-to-consumer channels, and owns the development technology Carbon Engine that ports retro games to modern platforms. And Tripwire, well known for Killing Floor and Rising Storm series. And recently, Maneater, a game where you're a shark, and you eat other fish and sharks, and eventually you eat people, and you level up, and you get strong. Yes, I did play it. It was nothing spectacular, but it was fun for what it was. And Tripwire was founded in 2005. The Killing Floor series boasts over 35 million players. And Rising Storm has over 14 million players, and Maneater over 16 million players. Excuse me. And they recently launched Chivalry 2, which has sold over 2 million units, and upcoming titles include Aspire 2 for the VR and Deceive Inc. And they currently have 113 more employees in its Georgia office. They also acquired Tuxedo Labs. Let's see. Embracer Group, through its wholly owned subsidiary Saber Interactive, announced it has acquired 100% of the shares of Swedish developer Tuxedo Labs, which is best known for its voxel-based destruction PC game Teardown. Let's see. Tatsujin? It's Embracer's first studio located in Japan, is led by Masahiro Yuki, one of the founders of the iconic arcade game studio Toplan. Again, apologize, mispronouncing probably everything here. Known for games such as Truxton, Snow Bros, and Flying Shark. It acquires the rights to the Toplan catalog separately, and another deal means Tatsujin, with several employees that once created the Toplan games, can now curate these classics and shepherd them into the future. They also acquired Bitwave Games, a Swedish studio with passion for retro games. Will bring the highly regarded shoot 'em up games from Toplan to PC and publish the NES Famicom Classic platformer Gimmick on console and modern consoles. In the West, they also acquired Sing Tricks, which really has nothing to do much with video games. Space in LA, award-winning creator of industry-leading vocal processing effects technology for karaoke, gaming, and entertainment. I guess kind of gaming related, but yeah, Embracer, they're going out with their acquisitions. They're going crazy. At some point they'll slow down, maybe. For the most part, they haven't acquired anyone huge. I want to say Gearbox for the biggest acquisition they've done. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but Gearbox being the developers of Borderlands. And recently released Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. There's also a report, so treat it as a rumor, grain of salt. Nintendo is shrinking the size of its Switch packaging to be able to improve its shipment across the world. It can shrink its packaging by about 20%. As a way to improve supply, Nintendo will reduce the outer box of its flagship console, Nintendo Switch, by 20% from production in August, so this current month. Reads a translation from a report from Nikkei. The aim is to increase the amount of supply to the world by improving transportation efficiency. So if you shrink it by 20%, you should be able to ship 20% out more consoles in the same amount of space. Would make the most sense. Let's see. Also, we got from, well, quite recently, not that long ago today, a report from Bloomberg. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake development has moved from the Texas-based studio Asper Media to the Eastern Europe-based Saber Interactive. The reason for the change and the developer is due to Embracer, Sony, and Disney all being displeased with the current progress in the game. The report claims the game will need at least another 2 years to finish development. Another 2 years means 2024 at the earliest we'll be seeing Knights of the Old Republic. If this report is correct, maybe 2025 is when it'll finally release with development. Also, Embracer, in May of this year, did confirm Saber Interactive stepped in to co-develop the game. But potentially, this report says now Saber Interactive is the sole developer of the game. And then, let's see, last week they didn't mention the game or studio specifically, but they did say one of their AAA projects has transitioned to another studio within Embracer Group. So we're just probably referring to Knights of the Old Republic remake going from Asper to Saber. And the game was announced for PS5 and PC. When it was announced last year, I want to say. Also, we have Death Stranding is coming to PC Game Pass. Well, right now, I'm recording this tomorrow, or if you're watching this hits YouTube today, August 23rd. But this is the original version of the game. It is not the director's cut. Again, this is specifically just PC Game Pass, which was published by 505 Games. Well, the PlayStation version was published by Sony. So yeah, it is not coming to Game Pass on the Xbox consoles, just specifically on the PC. For anyone who's been looking forward to play it, and you want to check it out, if you have PC Game Pass, well, tomorrow/today, it'll be available. There's not much more to say about that, but I mean, it's good. Gives more people a chance to play the game. And Dead Island 2 appears to be real. It's not dead anymore. It was announced in 2014. We've heard next to nothing about it ever since then, but listings appeared on Amazon for the Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One, PS5, and PS4 with a release date of February 3rd, 2023. Yes, that includes actual box art, which makes it seem more real that this was, well, real. So Dead Island 2, Day 1 edition. Xbox and PlayStation. And it also came with some new screenshots of the game. So maybe it'll finally be real. I mean, the original Dead Island, came out, it's been a long time. But the sequel being announced at this point, it was announced at E3 2014. It's been nearly 9 years by the time, if it is February 3rd release date is real, it'll be nearly 9 years since it was announced. That's crazy. And what is it, like Duke Nukem Forever? I guess not quite that long. It's close. It's getting there. But not quite. But yeah. I also actually had a description of the game. A deadly virus spreading across LA, turning its inhabitants into ravenous zombies. The city's in quarantine and the military have retreated. The bitten, infected, but more than just immune. You learn to harness the zombie inside. Only you and the handful of other swaggering fellows who happen to be resistant to the pathogen holds the future of LA and humanity in the balance. As you uncover the truth behind the outbreak, you'll discover who or what you are. Survive, evolve, save the world. Just another day in Los Angeles. Yeah, it's just a normal day in Los Angeles. It's fine. It's fine. And then the Sega Genesis Mini 2, the full North American game list, has been revealed, which will be coming out in North America and Japan on October 27th. And I believe Europe has yet to receive an actual release date. So if you want to pause the video, we got Sega Genesis games come to the Sega Genesis Mini 2. Just going to slowly scroll through here. And then we also have some Sega CD games, as well as some bonus games, new ports, and some previously unreleased games. as well. We can actually, that's going to be really loud. Let me lower that real quick.
Sega Genesis Mini 2 featured games.
A 6.5-minute video on the games list here of coming to Sega Genesis Mini 2. Hey, Jack. How you doing? So, I'm realizing it's 6.5 minutes. I don't know if anyone wants to see that, but it is up on YouTube. Genesis Mini 2 full game list. If you want to check that out. Let's see. Other gaming news. Gravity Rush moved to Little New York. Hey, that's where I live. I live in New York. Not the city, mind you, but I live in New York. Gravity Rush movie is reportedly in the works. It's not the only movie we're going to discuss. There's another one also reportedly in the works. Anna Mastro, who worked on Secret Society of Second Born Royals, is set to direct it, and Emily Jerome is set to write the script. Canada's New York. Toronto? Is that Canada's New York? Just guessing. And also, it isn't known who will produce the film and isn't clear if PlayStation Productions will distribute it. But it is in development at PlayStation Productions and Scott Free Productions, according to a report from Deadline. So as always, being a report doesn't mean it's going to be 100% actually happening. Or maybe it is in the works, but you know how production of movies could be delayed years and years or just outright eventually canceled. Multiverses, despite it being in, is it beta? I want to say it's in beta. Has topped 20 million players. A free-to-play platform fighting game. Basically, Smash Brothers, but with Warner Brothers IP. And other IPs owned by them. But yeah, milestone was hit following the release of Season 1 on August 15th, which adds a new battle pass for players to earn. Yeah, gotcha. Gameplay's a little weird. Yeah, I haven't played it myself because I've never been a big fan of Smash Brothers or really fighting games in general. I know there's a difference between Smash Brothers and your standard, your regular fighting games like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. But yeah, the game launched in open beta on July 26th, so in less than a month, it has topped 20 million players. And yes, it is free, though you can buy a Founders Pass pack, which does include some extra stuff. And the Game Awards, announced today by Jeff Keighley, will be taking place on December 8th. Stream live from the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. More details on the show and on how to get tickets will be announced this fall. So you actually be able to attend this year in person, which will be nice. So December 8th. And again, there will, as always, there'll be new looks at upcoming games, new game announcements, and world premieres. Yeah, I mean, I like that you get to see some new world premieres. I mean, the main reason I watch it is not for the rewards. It's for the announcements, the trailers, the world premieres. I mean, geez, the Series X was announced at the Game Awards in 2019? Along with Hellblade 2? Oh yeah. Wow. Got this. Not that I expect this lawsuit to go anywhere, but PlayStation has been sued for £5 billion. As the claim says, Sony has ripped off customers, supposedly. Because Sony charges 30 minutes. 30 minutes, Jesus. I can words. 30% for its PlayStation store. So does Microsoft on the Xbox store. So does Nintendo on the Nintendo store. And so does Valve on Steam. Epic Game Store is the only one I'm aware of that doesn't charge 30%. I'm pretty sure even Apple and Google charge 30% on iPhones and Androids. So if Sony gets hurt with this, it's gonna be a snowball effect and hitting everyone else, I'd assume. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it alleges that Sony ripped off people by charging 30% commission on every digital game and in-game purchase, which supposedly means it's weird, but it's something that seemed worthy to write an article on. Even though I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I agree, the claim is pretty dang, in my opinion, the claim is stupid. Now, if Sony was the only one charging 30% and everyone else was charging, 20%, 15%, 10%, whatever, then yeah, maybe there'd be some weight to it, but when everyone else does it, charges the exact same amount, 30%. I don't see it going anywhere. This means Apple and Google will get sued. Exactly. Or Microsoft on the Xbox. Or Nintendo with the eShop. Or Valve with Steam. They all charge 30%. But according to the lawsuit, the estimated overcharge per person comes to between £67 and £562. This is over the course of the last 6 years. So, yeah, the claim was filed with the Competition Appeal Tribunal. Alleges that consumers have been overcharged for the digital purchases. In my mind, I just don't see it going anywhere. According to the person who filed the lawsuit, the game is up for Sony PlayStation. With this legal action, I am standing up for the millions of UK people who have been unwittingly overcharged. We believe Sony has abused its position and ripped off its customers. Gaming is now the biggest entertainment industry in the UK, ahead of TV, video, and music. And many vulnerable people rely on gaming for community and connection. The actions of Sony is costing millions of people who can't afford it, particularly when we're in the midst of a cost of living crisis and the consumer purse is being squeezed like never before. Yeah, I've heard in the UK, like, the price of electricity and whatnot has, like, tripled for some people. Like, it's not gone up slightly. It's gone up, like, 2 or 3-fold, which is just ridiculous. Just nuts. I just don't see this going anywhere. Maybe it'll go to court and some stuff, but I don't see the people suing that have any chance of winning this lawsuit. And if they do, this is going to affect everyone else, other than Epic Game Store, because they charge 12%, but everyone else charges 30%. I mean, I think Microsoft charges 12% on the Windows Store, on PC, specifically, but just charge 30% on the Xbox Store. But yes, basically, everyone charges 30%, so I just don't know. Did it increase? No. It has not recently increased to 30%. It has pretty much, as far as I'm aware, always been 30% on the digital storefronts. As far as I'm aware. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's always been 30. Pretty sure. So this one, I just, it's news. It's like, all right, it seems like people will be interested to rate it, and even I specifically mentioned, it should be noted there are other video game digital stores that also take 30% cut, like Microsoft's Xbox Store and Valve's PC Store. Steam. Yeah, I made sure to mention that, because, yeah. No, everyone charges 30% other than Epic. So yeah, I don't see that going anywhere. So anyways. Slim has no way. Yeah, it pretty much has no way. I mean, who knows? It will, if any news comes of it, I will report on it. Let's just quickly scroll through. There was a lot of other smaller gaming news. If anyone wants to read any of this stuff, VGChartz.com. All this stuff is available to read. But for this, I like to mainly focus on bigger announcements. And as far as the Saudi Arabia being the first place to approve Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, I will not be writing an article on every place that approves the acquisition, because I think there's like 17 places. 16 or 17? Yes, when the FTC or the European Union approve it, yes, sure. Or when it's fully approved, yeah, I will report on that. But every little place, I probably won't bother. Otherwise, it'll get a little overboard, especially if they start happening back to back over the next couple months. If, I don't know. But yeah, I won't be spamming. It's just like, all right, approved the FTC, yeah, that's a big one. European Union approved it, that's a big one. The deal is done. Activision Blizzard is now officially part of Microsoft. Then sure, I will write an article on that. But every little place, nah, it ain't worth it. And we got a first look at The Last of Us HBO TV series. A very brief look. HBO released a sizzle reel, and at 1 minute and 42 seconds is The Last of Us footage. So let's take a quick look at that. For anyone who's excited for this. So it stars Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie.
Everybody I have cared for has either died or left me.
You have no idea what loss is.
So yeah, it didn't show much. It was the first footage of the upcoming HBO series, which I should be coming out sometime next year. I don't think we have an exact release date or even like a release window other than 2023. It is done shooting, so it's basically post-production time. Oh yeah, speaking of other big thing. Sony's going all out here, which, you know what? It's good. Sony makes movies. They make video games. It makes sense for them to make movies based on their games. Sony is reportedly working on a Days Gone movie, reported by Deadline. Oscar-nominated writer Sheldon Turner is working on the script, who wrote the story for X-Men First Class and the screenplay for Up in the Air and more. Actor Sam Heughan, who played Jamie Fraser in Outlander, is said to be playing the main protagonist, the former Motorcycle Club member Deacon St. John. I have not played Days Gone, so bear with me there. Jennifer Klein and Turner will be producing the movie via their production company, Vendetta Productions. And then Assad Kizilbash and Carter Swan will be producing the movie for Sony PlayStation Productions. So we had Uncharted come out earlier this year, I believe. I think it was earlier this year. Last of Us HBO series. We're seeing a lot more. I feel like we're on the cusp. If one TV series or movie based on a video game IP is really well received, blows up, becomes huge, I feel like that could lead into it being kind of like how comic book movies are the biggest thing out right now, that they could have the potential to be as big as comic book movies are right now. Potentially. And yes, it has the potential to increase the value of the IP. That's true. Oh, I saw the Uncharted movie. I enjoyed it. I'll buy the games. Or I enjoyed the Last of Us TV series. I'll buy the game, you know? It makes sense to do. And I'm pretty sure the first season of Last of Us is based off of the first game. I'm sure it won't be specifically identical. I'm sure there'll be some minor tweaks to it, but it's supposed to follow the main story of the first game, which... yeah, that opening. Not gonna say more than that, but oof. If they get that, oof. That's all I'm gonna say, oof. Of course, the thing is, currently, HBO Max is like the one streaming service I don't have access to at the moment. It's me and my family. We each of us pay for different things. You know, we got Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus. I think Hulu, actually, we don't actually have Hulu either. So it's like Hulu and HBO Max. Oh, and I guess technically Peacock is another one, but there's just so many. Hey. Let's see. Slime Rancher 2 comes out September 22nd. Xbox Series XS, PC, and Game Pass. High on Life, which is an Xbox game? Xbox? Yeah, Xbox and PC has been delayed to December 13th from... oh, it's just a couple months. Cult of the Lamb. I'm hearing so many people have been streaming it or tweeting about how great it is. Has sold over 1 million units in its first week. The game is available for, well, every major platform. It came out on August 11th. But over 1 million sold in 1 week. Let's see. Any other gaming news? We talked about that. And then, yeah, other smaller gaming news too. Bracer Group, yep, Dead Island 2, we talked about that. As a fan of Ghostbusters, there is basically what I'm guessing will be similar to kind of like Dead by Daylight, where you got the 4 Ghostbusters players is playing Ghostbusters, and then one person plays a ghost. They're fighting or something. The 4 are trying to catch the one ghost and something. I think that's what it's going to be kind of like. I'm curious as a Ghostbusters fan. Oh, Gotham Knights has gone gold, which means it actually won't be delayed. Unlike everything else that seems to be supposed to come out this year, which has been delayed to next year. Will be coming out October 25th. Now, of course, it's gone gold, but I'm sure the developers are still working on bug fixes and a day one patch, because that's how things are nowadays. Back in the day, if a game went gold, that meant development was done. That was it. But not anymore. Things certainly changed. I think that's going to be about it for gaming news over the last 5 or 6 days. So as always, if you're watching this on YouTube and you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Any other changes I can make to the series or whatnot, let me know. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. See you all in the next video.